What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel and welcome to my first video ever on YouTube. It's probably gonna suck, but whatever. Let's get into it. So I wanted to start this channel to share with everybody this. This is my 2019 Ford Ranger. I have a lot of plans for it, and I would love to take you with me on the journey as I build it. So today we're just gonna do a quick walk around the Ranger, take a look at what I have, what I've done so far, and we'll talk about some of the mods I have coming up shortly. So this is my 2019 Ford Ranger XLT 4x4. I didn't go with the FX4 package, mostly because I knew that I was going to replace the suspension and ultimately get upgraded skid plates, so I just didn't feel like the added price was worth it. So while I didn't get the FX4 package, I did make sure to get the rear locker, and the rear locker has been amazing in the Ranger. There's not a lot of articulation with independent front suspension as it is, and I think the Ranger's pretty rigid, so it's pretty easy to get a tire off the ground in some situations. So the locker is super helpful in getting out of those situations. In fact, a lot of trails I'll just start with the locker on and two-wheel drive and go until I feel like I need four-wheel drive, and it's been incredible. For the lift, I went with the Icon Vehicle Dynamics Stage 2 kit, and the Stage 2 kit gives you tubular upper control arms and 2.5-inch internal reservoir coilovers. I've been super happy with this suspension. It is incredible. It soaks up the bumps in the desert, dirt roads. It rides better on the street over stock. I've been really happy with it. It's given me 3.5-inch lift in the front and no lift in the back, but it sets pretty much level, which I'm super happy about. So for tires, I went with the Milestar Patagonia MTs. The 285/70 17s, which is about a 33/1150. I've been really happy with these tires. They hook up really well in the dirt and the mud so far. They ride well on the street. Not a lot of road noise, definitely less than a mud tire. Maybe a little bit more than an all-terrain, but for me it's totally fine. So the Milestars are mounted on Icon alloys. These are the rebounds in titanium, 17-inch by 8.5, I believe. It's 5.75-inch backspacing and the 22mm offset. I think the offset is perfect in my opinion. I love it. They don't stick out so far where it's flinging mud everywhere. And they don't tuck in so far where it looks stock. It also is just enough clearance to clear the intrusion beams that are on the front and back of the each front fender well. Let's talk about some modifications that I have coming up. First, I have some rock sliders coming from Shrockworks. They should be here any day really, and I'll definitely do a video about those in the install. I really want to just protect that rocker panel. It's not a rock crawler truck, it never will be, but definitely am not looking to do any sort of body damage to the side of my Ranger. So those rock sliders I think are going to be excellent. Another thing I have in the plans is a winch up front. I'd love to keep the stock look of the Ranger, and I know there's at least one company that makes a winch plate that goes into that big open cavity underneath the grille in the front of the Ranger. I just love the stock look. I love the factory look with minor mods. Right now I'm just not interested in doing an off-road bumper setup, so looking at getting that winch mounted in that cavity with a plate. I also know that Shrockworks is working on a insert that will basically go kind of where that cavity is, but ultimately that little piece in the front bumper would come out, it looks like, and the insert would go in there. Kind of interested in that. It's a little bit beyond the stock look, but it does keep a lot of the stock bumper intact. So, but definitely a winch is definitely in the plans for the Ranger. So camping, exploring, overlanding, all in the plans for the Ranger. So of course, to do that, when it comes to sleeping, I'm gonna get a rooftop tent. I already have the racks. They're low profile racks. So I wasn't really wanting to get those sort of tall racks that go up to the cab height and then the tent on top of that. I wanted to keep everything below the roof line of the Ranger. So I have low profile racks, and I'll do an install video on those coming up. And then I have a rooftop tent on order from 23Zero. I went with the Breezeway 62, and I'll get into more about that when I do the install video and review of the tent. But that's going to go on the back. I'm real excited about getting that set up. Rock sliders, winch, rooftop tent, those are probably the 3 biggest mods that I have in the plans. I have a bunch of other smaller things that I think will be really cool for camping and off-roading. I have some recovery gear in the plans, 12-volt fridge setup in the plans, a solar battery setup in the plans, all kinds of other camping equipment. So I'll try to do videos on all that stuff as I build it, and I'll share it with you on the channel, so look forward to that. All right, everybody, that does it for the walk around video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.